Namaste, good evening, and welcome back to the day number 2 of this HackerRank coding bootcamp, where at the end of it, it is my promise to you that each of you will have those 4 special stars in your profile, right? Anyways, guys, just a quick, just to check, whether the same people who attended yesterday have come today. Tell me, for how many of you today is your second class? Put 2 in the chat quickly. Put 2 if today is your second class. Okay, great, awesome. Majority of you. But is there anyone who today is your first class, friends? Today is your first class, please put 1. Anyone? Today is your first class? Is there anyone who didn't attend yesterday and came today? No one? Wow, I'm happy. Great. And also, I must really thank you guys because of the beautiful words that you spoke about the class, about the teaching. I am very happy that I was able to have a positive impact on your life yesterday. Thank you so much. And today is going to be even more special. Without wasting any more time, let's get started with the first problem on HackerRank, right? So let me take you directly to HackerRank. Watch it, all of you. Now, this is the first problem which we are going to solve. So, in that, the problem is called as Utopian tree. That is what is the name of the problem. And there you can see it says, I'll just increase it a little bit. Yeah, enough. Scroll down. The problem says Utopian tree is basically a tree, okay, goes through 2 cycles of growth every year. Each spring, it doubles in height. Each summer, its height increases by 1 meter. So, each spring it doubles in height. Each summer, its height increases by 1 meter. A utopian tree sapling with a height of 1 meter is planted at the onset of spring. Now, what does onset means? Onset means beginning. Beginning of spring, they are going to plant one utopian tree, and that basically its height is 1 meter. Next, how tall will the tree be after n growth cycles? How tall will the tree be after n growth cycles? And you can see, for example, if the number of growth cycles is 5, then the calculation is as follows. Look at it, okay. So, period 0. 0 means initially the tree is a sapling 1 meter height. First growth cycle. First growth cycle is going to be what? Spring, because they have only told. See, a utopian tree sapling with 1 meter is planted at the onset of spring. So, spring is the first growth cycle. Every spring, its height doubles, which means from 1, if you double, it will become 2. Next cycle is summer. In summer, it only grows by 1 meter. So, from 2, it became 3. Next growth cycle is spring. Spring, it doubles its height. So, it became 6. Next cycle is summer. So, it increased by 1 meter. Next is spring. So, it doubled in height. It became 14 meters. Okay, sir, what should we do? Come down. What we must do is, we have to write a function. Which accepts one parameter, which is n, the number of growth cycles. What is the function, etc.? Today I will explain. Okay. So, if you give n, it should tell in n growth cycles what will be the total height of the tree. That is what it should return. See, returns an integer which is nothing but the height of the tree after the given number of cycles. Input format they have given. Okay, so all this we will see what it is. Come down. Some constraint, some sample they have given. Okay, so see, for example, 3 means they are going to give you 3 different values of n. 3 different values of n. The first value of n is 0. 0 means no growth cycles, which means initially what is the height of the tree? 1 meter. So scroll down a little bit. 1 is the scroll down. Yes, keep the input and output in the frame. Little on top, yes. 3 means it is 1. 0 means it is 1. Next, 1 means 1 growth cycle. And what will be the first growth cycle? Spring. So, it will double in height, 2. Next, if n is 4 growth cycles, it will be 7 meters in height. This is what we have to do. And of course, they have given you one explanation, etc. blah, blah, blah. Now, maybe you understood, maybe you didn't. Let me visualize this for you so that you will understand, because in TAP Academy, every single problem is visualized for your better understanding. Okay. Now, check this out and try and understand what I am saying. So basically, n is given to you. What is n? Number of growth cycles. Let me represent the number of growth cycles in my x-axis, right? And of course, I have t, which is nothing but the initial height of the tree. When it's a baby sapling, it's 1 meter tall. Okay. These two things are given to. See, this is my growth cycles. 5 growth cycles I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 growth cycles I have. Initially, the plant is how tall? 1 meter tall. So that is what I am also showing. See, it's 1 meter tall. This is the height of the tree. Now, when you plant the tree, the first growth cycle is spring. Whenever it is spring, tree doubles in height, which means from 1 it is going to become 2. Next season is summer. It will increase only by 1 meter. So it will become 3 meters tall. Next, it is spring. So it will double, which means it will become 6 meters tall. How are we able to think? Next, it is summer, which means it will increase by 1 meter. So like this. Next, it is spring. It will double. So from 7, it is going to become 14 meters. Any confusion till here? Which means if n is 5, output should be 14. How many of you understood the question correctly? Put a yes in the chat. How many of you understood the question? Yes, everyone understood the question. Good, good. Because it's important that you understand the question. Answer is the easy part. वो हम लिख लेंगे, कोई problem नहीं है, but we have to get the question right. Okay, beautiful. Now see, now guys, whenever, if you want to be successful at coding, number one rule is visualize the solution. If you can see it, you can do it. Next thing is try to come up with an algorithm. Algorithm means the steps that you will follow in order to achieve your goal. Now, what is the steps I will follow? It's very simple. What I am going to do is, I am given n growth cycles. So, I must obviously I must move from the first cycle till the nth cycle. In this case, my nth cycle is 5, which means 1 to 5 I must move. So, what I will do is, I am just showing you my cycles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, if I want to go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 1 by 1, 1 by 1, 1 by 1, if I want to go, then the best way would be to loop over it. Best way would be to loop over it. So what I will do is, I am going to create a for loop, which we have seen yesterday, and I am going to make I start from 1. And I will tell, hey I, every time your value has to keep increasing as long as it is less than or equal to 5. That is what I am going to tell. I starts from 1, it should go till 5. Now what I will do is, I value is nothing but the cycle. It is the number of the cycle. And we know that the first cycle is always spring. We know that. First cycle is spring, we know that. So as you can see, first cycle is spring. If first cycle is spring, then it has to double in its height. So what I must do is, if you look at it, if the first cycle is spring, it means it's an odd number. If you start with odd, then every time that cycle repeats, it's going to be odd only. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Every summer is going to be even only. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Which means, how will you know whether this I value is spring or is it summer? Is all you have to do is check whether it is even or odd. Would you agree with me? If it is odd, spring. If it is even, summer. So all I will do is, I must check whether the I value is even or odd. How will you do that? Simple. An even number is a number which is perfectly divisible by 2. Which means if I divide it by 2, the remainder should be 0. Remainder should be 0. Whereas an odd number is a number, if you divide it by 2, remainder will never ever be 0. I am not talking about quotient, I am talking about remainder. So, if in programming, I can take I value, divide it by 2 and check if the remainder is 0 or not the quotient. If the remainder is 0 or not, I would have got it. And that is exactly what I will do. How will you do it, sir? Like this. I am going to tell I, whatever is the value of I, mod 2. Because you must understand, mod is an operator in programming which will divide I by 2 and will give you the remainder, not quotient. If you tell slash, it will give you quotient, not remainder. And see, I am checking the remainder of the division of I by 2, is it equal to 0? If it is equal to 0, I know it is even. If it is even, it is summer. If it is not, I know it is spring. So that's what I'm doing. Two conditions can happen. Two things can happen. Either it can be even or odd. So see, 1 divided by 2 is not 0, false. False means I know it is spring because it's an odd number. Odd number means whatever is the height of the tree, I should double it. Whatever is the height of the tree, I should double it. So see, that is what I'm going to do. I will take t, which is what holds the height of the tree, and I will multiply it by 2. That is how you double it. And that multiplied result, I will store it back inside t. So see, t into 2, multiply existing value of t into 2, store that back inside t. Which means t's value is 1, 1 into 2 is 2, assign 2 to t, which means t was 1, it is now going to become 2. Please understand, you are within a loop. I will move forward, I will move forward. Now again repeat, check 2 mod 2. 2 mod 2 is obviously 0, even number, which means this condition will be true. If it is true, it is summer. If it is summer, tree's height will increase only by 1 meter, which means what should I do? Whatever is the existing value of t, increase it by 1, and that is what I am also showing. See, t equal to t plus 1, which means take the existing value of t, add 1 to it, store it back inside t. Existing value of t is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. Assign that to t, which means t from 2 is going to become 3. You are within a loop, I plus plus, I will increase. 3 mod 2, is it equal to 0? Anyone with eyes knows it's false because it's an odd number. If it is odd number, you know you're in spring. If it is spring, please double the existing value of the tree, which means that is what I will do. And if in case I do that, 3 into 2 is 6, give that to t, t becomes 6. Then you're within a loop, increment the value of I becomes 4. 4 mod 2 is obviously even number, so it is 0, so increase it by 1. Existing value is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, t becomes 7. Again increase the I value. Once you increase the I value, you're going to get 5, and 5 is obviously odd number. If it is odd number, then you're not going to get 0, it is going to be false. Double the value of the tree because you're in spring, and 7 into 2 is 14, and 14 is going to be the new value of t. Any confusion till here? And of course, I will not move forward. This loop will not repeat because that is how we will set the condition. I will be initialized to 1. And the condition will ensure I moves only till the value is 5. I is less than or equal to 5. How many of you understood the algorithm? 100 you put in the chat if you understood it 100%. Because now coding is easy, boss. Anyone can write code. 380, 70. What are these numbers you guys are saying? Okay. Good. Okay. Wow. Somebody finished execution also. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Close it. Now, again, see, yesterday some of you will be like, sir, why did you explain for loop, sir? We already knew it. My friend, you know it. But there are 200 others in the meeting. When I teach, I must teach for everyone. I cannot teach only for you. So everything will be taught from scratch, and I hope you understand why I am doing it. For me, every student is equal. I hope you are able to think. Anyways, let us go and write this as code. But before we write this as code, I'll, Now watch it. Let me bring up my editor. Now, in my editor, what I'm going to do is, I have a class called as day2, that is fine. Inside this is my main method. I hope everybody went to the LMS and checked why in Java we write the main method the way we write it, press enter. Now first thing is, you must understand, I want my Java program to take n value and t value from the keyboard, guys. I want it to take it from the keyboard. T value you need not take because anyways it is initially 1, that is guaranteed. At least n value, number of cycles I want to take from the keyboard. How will you write code such that our program can take input from the keyboard, if you ask me? That I will show you, but for the time being, I will just hard code it. I will tell int n equal to 5. I am only giving value, but this should come from the keyboard. How we will see later. Next, int t, initially you know the sapling's height is 1. Beautiful. Now I will come down. Now what I should do is, I must now create a for loop which moves from 1 till 5. So that's what I'll do. I'll tell for int I equal to, initially I should be 1. Next, I will tell I should move as long as it is less than 5. So I'll tell I less than equal to 5. See, less than equal to, because equal to also should be there. 1 by 1 i's value should increment. So I plus plus. I'll go inside that, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if I value is even or odd. How will I do that? If in case I mod 2 is equal to 0. If this condition is, if it is 0, it will be true, otherwise it will be false. So if it is true, I will come inside if, and there I will, I know if it is even, it is summer. So I will increase the t value by 1. So I will tell t equal to t plus 1. Beautiful. Else, I will tell t equal to t into 2. I am doubling the value because it is spring. That's all. Okay. Now I'll come, once I come out of the for loop, t value I would have got, whatever is the final t value. Now next, what I should do is, scroll it. Yeah. What I should do here is I should print. So I will tell system.out.println. And what I should print is the value of t. So I will just tell t like this. Any confusion till here? Now let us see how to execute this, whether we will get our expected output. Is n is 5, we must get t as 14. So let's see whether that happens. If I now take you back, and if in case I put in the relevant command, I will compile it, no issues, I will execute it, and if I do this, capital D, and again I hope you went to the LMS and checked how to compile, how to execute. I really hope you have done it. If I press enter, clearly you can see 14. So it works. It works. No problem. Let's see. Let's make n as 4. If I re-execute this, if I make n as 4, then I should get the value as 7. Right? N as 4, I should get it as 7. So let us see whether it works correctly. So total height should be 7 meters. Yeah. Okay. Compilation, no issues. Execution, oh, you didn't save it. Okay, now it is not saving problem. What we have done is, n is 4, but loop is going from 1 till 5. That is why I told you, never hard code. Write in general. Well, how will you write it in general, sir? This 5 is nothing but whatever is there in n. So I'll just make it as n. I'll just make it as n. Whatever is n value, now it is 4, 1 to 4. If it is 5, 1 to 5. If it is 10, 1 to 10. Any confusion? Great. Let's go back. So if in case I clear the screen, compile, no issues, execute, and there you go, 7. So it works. Beautiful. Now, in HackerRank, if I take you to HackerRank, what HackerRank is saying is, you must create a function in itself. See, I'll go on top. I'll go on top. The function's name is Utopian tree. I'll just copy that word and keep it. I'll copy that. This should be the function. Now, this function should accept an input n. It should execute and give me back an output which is an integer, which is the height of the tree. That is what HackerRank expects. So how will we convert our code into a function, if you ask me? Very simple. Let's go back. Now listen and listen carefully, guys. Okay. This code, it should become a function. How will I create a function? I'll scroll on top. What I will do is, after this day 2, I will press enter. Now you must understand, in Java, you have a class. Inside class, you have something called as functions or methods. Main is a method. Similarly, you can have other methods also. Now I am going to create a method. So see, I will call it as void. I will call it as void for the time being, and I will paste the name which I said, Utopian tree. Now what I will do is, here I will put brackets. If at all this function should take some input, somebody has to give it some input. Whatever inputs this function should accept, you must write it within these brackets. Technically, they are called as parameters, input that you pass. right? And I know that this function should accept one input, which is the number of cycles. So I will tell int n like this. What it should accept as input is a value n, which is a number of cycles. Next, I will give the body of the function. I'll give the body of the function. In the body, what I have to do is nothing but come down. From this int t equal to 1, I will copy. Till the end, I will copy it. I'll copy it. I'll go on top. Cut it, okay. Rather, you can cut it. Yeah, I'll cut it. I'll go paste it here. So basically what you're doing is, hey, listen, if somebody calls Utopian tree and gives them the number of cycles, automatically you will create a variable t whose value is 1, because initial size of the tree is always 1. And then you will calculate the size of the tree t, and you must not print it, boss. No. You must return it as output to whoever called. So what I will do is, see, I'll remove this line. And instead what I will tell is, return. There is a word in programming called as return. Return means give back. Give back what? Whatever is the value of t that you have calculated. See? Now reading is important. Utopian tree is a function which accepts an integer n and returns t. T is what? An integer. So it returns another integer. I hope you're able to think. But this word here called as void is only called as the return type. You must tell what is the type of value this function will return. And the type of value which the function returns is t. T is an integer, which means what it's returning is an integer, so I'll tell int. Now read, Utopian tree is a function which accepts an integer n and after execution of its body returns another integer as output. This is only called as a function. Now guys, there is so much that I can speak about functions, but I am not teaching the fundamentals of the language in the class. I am teaching you logic building. So please forgive me if I do not touch and I go in the depth of the concepts of Java, right? So if I don't do that, please forgive me, because Java is such a language, such a powerful language. If really you want to get a high paying job, core Java you must master. Object orientation such as encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, all this you must master. Interfaces you must master. How to take a Java program and connect it to a database using JDBC you must master. Even otherwise, how to efficiently store and retrieve data in Java using collections you must master. Over and above that, if you want to build beautiful apps, then you must learn advanced Java, servlets, JSP, MVC architecture, Springs, Hibernate. If you learn all this, your knowledge will be on a different level, and obviously people will pay you lakhs of rupees. But today I can't go into the depth of the language. I hope this much is clear. If I make this change, now come down, always understand a Java program will always begin execution from main, and in the LMS I have clearly explained to you why. It will execute in main, there you are telling n is equal to 4, but ultimately this n must be passed as input to Utopian tree. So how to do it? You must call the function. How will you call it? Come down. All I will do is, name of the function you can use. So I will tell Utopian tree. With brackets I will put. And I will tell, hey please, to Utopian tree pass n value. So I will tell n like this. Semicolon I will put. Are you clear till this point of time? So I am calling the function. But remember, go on top. In Java, if you ever want to call a function, you must create an object of the class inside which the function is present. Or if you do not want to create object and without object creation you directly want to call, then one word you must attach. That word is only called as static, like this I will tell static. Again, there is a deeper explanation to this, which in the actual Java full stack development course I have completely spoken. Just the static keyword, there are 2 classes only dedicated to it, but I'm not going to speak about it. Just understand, why did I put static? Because I don't want to create object. Because I don't want to create object, I can directly call it like this. I hope you're able to think. Now what will happen? If I call utopian tree pass n, utopian tree function will execute and it will return t to me. See, it will return this t to me. Whatever is returned, I should collect it. How will you collect it, sir? See, I will put assignment. Assignment is right to left. Put it. Assignment is right to left. Whatever is in the right side, I am giving it to the left side. So what is returned to me is t, which is nothing but an integer. So I will collect it in an integer variable called as t, like this, int t, I will tell. That's it. Then I will print that t. So I will tell sys out t. So the same thing only, nothing different you have done. It's just that you have made it into a function. Will this work? 100%. Watch it. If I take you back, if in case I just sorry, wrong screen. If I go there and if in case I put in the relevant command, no issues. If I execute, then 7, it works. Okay, beautiful. Now what we have to do is go back to the code. What I am going to do is, I'll scroll on top. This function completely I'll copy it. See, the body I will copy it. I'll copy it. What I will do is I'll go to HackerRank. In HackerRank, all I'm going to do is I will come down to HackerRank's editor. HackerRank's editor. I will increase the size and reduce the size a little bit. Yeah. Here I'll scroll down. See, they have a class called as result. I'll scroll down. There is a function they have already given, public static int utopian tree. Write your code here. This is all we have to do. So I'll paste my code there. I'll just paste it. As it is, I'll paste my code. Rest, giving input, come down, etc. HackerRank has already done it. They have written code. You don't have to do anything. Automatically it will pass input to you. It will give you different values of n. They are only called as test cases. Let's see whether test cases pass. I'll go click on run code. If I go click on run code, 2 test cases it passed, both have passed. So you can see, first thing is it told I'll give you 2 values of n. First value is 0, output should be 1, we got 1. Expected is 1, ours is also 1. It passed 1, output should have been 2, so expected and our output both are same. Great, now go on top. Now if you want points, you must submit the code. So I'll go submit the code. If I submit the code, then it will pass 10 test cases, because always count begins from 0, I told you programmers, and everything has passed. Beautiful. Congratulations, it is telling, do you want to take the next challenge? Okay, I'll exit the full screen view, and if I go and I check on top to my profile, I would have got 20 points, because the maximum score is 20. We got 20 points. 10 more points, we will get our first star. Any confusion till this point of time? Beautiful. Now, let us, okay, how many of you understood this perfectly? Put a yes in the chat. How many of you understood this? I know everybody understood. You guys are very, very smart. Good, good, good. Warming up is done. Next problem. See guys, I want you to understand here. Programming is not difficult. Just that you must have practice. You must get used to reading, understanding and writing. Okay, beautiful. Let's go to the next question.